Hey guys, Colleen here, DIYer behind LemonThistle.com. Today we're talking calendars. So every year I release free printable calendars on my blog, and these are like my most popular printable ever. Every single year. But every single year I do get a lot of questions about how I use them or how to use them for specific things that I talk about in the blog post. So I thought that I'd do a video showing you different ways that you can use free printable calendars to get your life all planned. And then I also wanted to show you how to use GoodNotes. If you have an iPad where you can use the free printables on there if you'd rather plan digitally instead of on paper. So before we get into it, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I'd so love if you did that below so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. This year there are 5 different styles of calendars that I put in that blog post. I will link that below so you can hop over there and you can get them sent right to your email. And those different styles are the standard grid calendar that just prints on an 8x10, a larger version of that grid calendar that prints on an 11x17. I call this like the family size, and it's what we use in our home. A perpetual list calendar, a dated list calendar, and a year at a glance.
Okay, so these are the 5 free printable calendars that I printed off from my blog, and I just got these printed at Staples, or you could do it at a local copy center, or you could do it on your own printer. The first one I'm going to chat about is the one that we use the most often, which is this family size grid calendar. It is just a classic grid calendar, and it has a section for notes on the side. So the way that we use our calendars is we go ahead and we write in all like things that are not changing, like birthdays, holidays, that sort of thing in pen. And then we go ahead and we write in the things that we are like trying to work around that in pencil so that we can easily change them. The things that I like to put in my notes on the side are tasks that we really want to complete. So I always have like our renovation goals in the side. So maybe this would be like patching and painting door jambs or something like that. And then we also make a note down at the bottom of each note section for how many days off we've booked. So it's really easy to flip through the calendar and see how many days off you have left at the end of the year with the vacations that you have scheduled already. Okay, so that's way number 1 to use the calendars, is just as a standard plan your life calendar. All right, so the second calendar we're looking at here is just a standard grid calendar as well. It's on the 8.5x11, so just regular sized paper. Of course, you can use it like a normal plan your life calendar, but I want to show you 2 ways that I use it. I use it for a content calendar, and I use it for a meal planner. So content calendar is what I use as a blogger to stay organized and plan what type of content I'm going to be putting out in a given month. And I'm going to be writing this in pen just because it's easier for you to see. But typically I would only write my firm deadlines in pen, and I would write everything else in pencil so that it is easy to erase and to move around. So I like to publish my blog posts on Wednesdays and my blog posts that have YouTube videos on Saturdays. And then I try my best to send my emails on Thursdays. So I've gone ahead and I've highlighted those columns. I like to make it really clear for myself. And I mean, you could schedule your work time in the other days too, but I just like to use this as a really rough overview of what I'm going to be working on publishing during the month, so I can see at a glance if I've gone really heavy on the renovations and totally neglected crafting or lettering or something like that, since I do have so many topics that I like to share. So in the note section for this, I go ahead and I write down different seasonal things that I need to remember. So, okay, I should be blogging about Easter, or I should be blogging spring decor. I should be blogging end of school, teacher gifts, Father's Day gifts, whatever it might be for that specific month. So not necessarily what's happening in that month, but what are the trends that people are searching. I put that in the side. And then I could also go ahead and write blog posts that I have like sitting waiting to be published, because I have a bunch of those too. So then I just go ahead and I write in the things that I do every single month, like my tech wallpapers and my hand lettering practice sheets. And then I could go ahead and write in all the other things, and I would plan my emails around what I'm doing for my blog posts and YouTube videos. So this is just how I use it as a content calendar. And again, I would prefer to use pencil over pen, and there is a goal section up at the top here. So if I was really focusing all of my content around building email subscribers for a launch that I have happening in May, then I would write that up there as my goal. Or if my goal was, say, to publish a TikTok every day or something, I might write that up at the top and then write all my TikTok ideas in. So that is content calendar. This also really works if you are super into fitness or something. You could write your goal and then you could write your different like workout goals on each day, making notes on the side for specific reps or things that you want to try and accomplish. Okay, next up is meal planning. This is something that I'm sure most of us need to get a little bit better at, myself included, but when I do really well at meal planning, this is what I do. So you could use the goal section to write things like, this month we're going to try to be gluten-free, or we're going to try and clear the freezer, we want to do groceries on a budget, or we want to have meatless Mondays, whatever your goal in feeding your family might be. Maybe it is Sunday night prep is your goal. I like to really specify, and then I like to use the notes section for things that are either in season. So, I mean, when it's corn season, I make a lot of dishes with corn because we love it. And I also like to write the things that are in my freezer that need to be used up. The other thing that I like to do, which makes it really easy for me to fill in the days so I don't feel like I'm just grasping at straws every day, is to divide the days up just like I do with my content calendar. And so maybe meatless Mondays, taco Tuesdays, maybe Wednesday is freezer meals, so I'm only cooking with stuff that is in the freezer or pantry so that I don't waste groceries if we don't get to every meal that week. And then Thursdays are busy days, so let's try and eat from the slow cooker, and we always do Friday night pizza night. Saturday night I kind of leave as a wild card, and then Sunday night I like to batch cook so that I have some leftovers for the week. So then after you make your themes, it's a lot easier to fill in the days, and you can do a whole month at a time as opposed to doing this every week and it taking a lot of your time. So you'll see how quickly I fill in this calendar here, and I won't do the whole thing, but it goes really quick. So Taco Tuesdays could not necessarily mean tacos. You could do taco salad, you could do a burrito bowl, you could do enchilada casserole, whatever you choose. But we really love to eat Mexican food, and this is a great way to get it on the calendar and fill one night of the week, every week. All right, I won't spend too much time on this one because it's super straightforward. I personally keep this one right beside my desk so I can refer to it when I'm sending emails, pitching deadlines, or saying, why don't we do Wednesday, August and then I can look at the calendar, 11th. You could also circle your garbage days and keep it in your pantry so you don't forget to put out your garbage. Next up is the list calendars, and I have two versions of these. The one is the perpetual list calendar, which does not have days of the weeks on it, so you can use it for years to come. The other one is a dated list calendar. So let's look at the perpetual list calendar first. And the thing that I use this for and have for years is for birthdays. I love to keep this with my cards and snail mail, or you could keep it with your gift wrap or something like that. And you could write everybody's birthdays on it. My grandma has one that she keeps kind of in her kitchen, so it's by her phone so that she can call people on her birthdays. And anybody that knows me is going to say, well, I don't get a card on my birthday, and that's true because since I've had kids, snail mail's just, it's gone out the window. But I really love it for this use. You can also write holidays that will not change depending on what weekend they are of the year. All right, so the next up is the dated list style calendar, and I know people who use this for pretty much everything. You could use it for work deadlines, whichever. You could use a highlighter to highlight the weekends if you prefer. You do you. But how I use this one is for budgeting, and I get so many questions on this, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this one. I did a post about this back in 2014, which is so long ago, and I still love using this system when I'm trying to wrap my head around a new budget. So here goes nothing. I draw a line right down the center and I write in and out. So I write my incomes on the left-hand side here, and I'm going to use round numbers that are easy to add here. And I would write up at the very top how much I have in the bank account going into the month. And then I'll throw in a couple other incomes here just to make it a little bit fun. And on the right-hand side, I would write bills that come out every single month. So let's throw in mortgage and maybe phone bills and probably insurance, that sort of thing. And then you can add it up and you can see, hey, there is not enough money between this paycheck and this paycheck to pay all the bills, because if you're anything like me, all your bills come out during one pay period, and then there's another one where you feel pretty rich. So this just helps me wrap my head around how much money I need to leave in the bank account for next pay period. The other thing that I like to do is I like to add in my weekly spending, and I'll just do this down at the bottom with round numbers again, so you can see what that looks like. And then I will go ahead and I will throw in when I take out that weekly amount, so I can see exactly how much money I need to have left in the bank between pay periods. This also tells me what I have left over for the non-essentials or for saving or that sort of thing. This is definitely not a super detailed way to budget. There are lots of other budgets out there, but this is really helpful for me in managing cash flow and understanding how much money I'm going to have at what point in the month. All right, last but not least, I wanted to show you how to use a free printable calendar that is in PDF format like this one is in GoodNotes. So if you already use GoodNotes, this is probably going to be no surprise to you, but if you are looking for a digital version of a calendar that you can have on all your apps at the same time, that is not one that like sends you reminders that you can just write on, I really love the feeling of like writing my plans down and having it look beautiful. And so I really enjoy using something like GoodNotes to kind of plan my calendar and move things around and see it really visually for myself before I go and put reminders in iCalendar or something like that. So to get it into GoodNotes, there is a couple things that you could do. You could either straight from the website, when you open up the PDF, hit Share to GoodNotes and it will open it up. You can say insert as new document and then write right on it, which I have done here. So I'm just using a pen and writing exactly like I showed in my first one. And you can zoom right in, which helps write really small inside those boxes. The other thing that I love about GoodNotes compared to just writing directly on top of the PDF is you can pick just part of the things that you've written and you can drag them around. You're not going to mess up the calendar by writing over top of it, which is awesome if you tend to move things around a lot like I do. So this would be great for a content planning calendar as well, because you can drag and drop ideas, which I will show you right now. So I'll write my YouTube videos here, and if after I have planned all of these videos, I get an awesome sponsored opportunity or I get asked to participate in a home tour, and so I need to move my home tour from the end of the month up to the beginning of the month, I can go ahead and I can do that in here without having to erase and rewrite. I can just select that area of text and drag it around, which is amazing. The other thing that I do like to do when I am having a content calendar is to have a list of ideas, things that I'd love to tackle or things that I have started on but haven't finished in the notes section, so that if, say, something has to get scrapped, then I can go ahead and I can move one of those other ideas out into my calendar really super easily. And then to go between pages, you just use 2 fingers and you just swipe, so you can go all the way to August and remind yourself to make the printable calendars in August instead of September. Okay, the second way that you can add calendars into GoodNotes is, for example, if you've already transferred them from your computer onto your iPad, or if they're in your Google Drive as opposed to on a web page. So then you just want to go ahead and make yourself a notebook and make sure that it is horizontal, and then you can hit import, document, and select that document and it just pops in right there. You can also use that import function to import pictures, like this little quote that I put in the goals section here, or you could put like a picture of somebody for their birthday or something fun like that. The other feature that I did want to point out is that you can type. I would prefer to write. I find that it's tactile and enjoyable, but if you want a neater, tidier calendar than me, then you might enjoy the feature of being able to type. And then again, you can drag and drop that text around. All right, there's 7 ways to use a free printable calendar, just crammed right into one video.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any more DIY or home decor videos. We'll see you next time.